Return of the King! Does Return take the top spot? We got
ranking every movie ever. Go Cameron O'Hearn.
Number one so far is Lord of the Rings Fellowship. Number two is Lord of the Rings Two Towers. I'm gonna pause this, just study Tim's face if he's okay with that.
Oh,
I think he's okay with that.
This?
Okay.
You see our rankings?
You know what? Let's just put it on the list right now. And then I'll talk
I'm guessing this.
I think it's number one, right?
I've got my finger up.
Can't put it.
Let's
can't
rank
put
it.
below Fellowship or Two Towers.
Oh, number one! We have a new number one. Look at that shot.
That's a
The Return of the King is a nearly perfect capstone to the best trilogy in film. I remember watching the trailer for it in 2003 because each year that these films came out, 1, 2, and 3, it was the last day of school and our mom would take us to watch the movie in theaters.
Wow.
Nice.
So it was an experience that I looked forward to. And obviously after you do that for 2 years in a row, you're anticipating the end of the school year and going to watch Return of the King. I remember the trailer. I remember seeing the big battle shots, seeing all the characters back. But the moment that got me the most was seeing Sam in the volcano in Mount Doom screaming, "No!" And then it showed Return of the King. Like, I'd never read the book. So I'm like, what is gonna happen? Why is he yelling? This is gonna be the best movie ever. And it did not let me down. So I think the Fellowship of the Ring is so well put together. It's better put together than the Two Towers.
Yes.
Two Towers has better moments than the Fellowship of the Ring. But the reason Return of the King is the better of all of them is because I think it has more moments that, the Two Towers has Helm's Deep. It has the battle with the Balrog in the beginning. And that's the best moments. But Return of the King is great moment after great moment after great moment. The opening, we get Smeagol's origin. The battle culminates in Minas Tirith. We have some of the best set pieces you've ever seen. They still hold up today. Probably the most impressive, set I can imagine from 2003, the time this came out. Just the thought and design that went into this film, like when Frodo and Sam are being led up the stairs to Shelob's lair, and we have this green castle where the Witch King lives, and you just feel like you're losing hope after scene after scene. You're like, how could this possibly end well for them? Right. And you feel the desperation. Everyone's like firing on all cylinders. Everyone knows what they're doing, knows what they signed up for. The battle scene. So it's a bigger battle than Helm's Deep. I don't think it's a better battle than Helm's Deep. But the one thing I love most about this battle, there's two scenes that happen that are just transcendent. You have the Rohirrim showing up on the hillside to save the day. I mean, these are the horse lords. And they get that speech to ride in. And it's not a speech for let's go achieve victory. It's death.
Yes.
We ride to our death. And that's what they chant when they ride. Death! Yes. And that's what they ride in on. The other thing I love is Gandalf and Pippin held up in that room as the troll is beaten down the door. And they've already taken over the wall of Helm's Deep. They're already in the city, or Minas Tirith. They're already in the city, and Pippin has lost hope. Yep. And he's looking at Gandalf, and he's facing his death, probably for the first time. This movie's about death throughout. Yeah. It's about how do you deal with facing your own death. Like the steward has to face his own death. You have, the Undying Lands at the end, how King Theoden faces his death. But what I love about Gandalf and Pippin's talk is he's asking the question, is this the end? Yeah. Is death the end? Yeah. And then Gandalf looks at him and says, "The end? No. Death is a path we must all take."
Yeah.
And he describes what he'll see.
Yes.
Because Gandalf comes from the Undying Lands.
Yes.
He remembers what everlasting life is like. And he describes the white shores and the swift sunrise. And you get the musical theme Into the West playing. And I think it's the first time you hear it in the movie, but you hear this theme coming in, this soft violin theme coming in, which comes in later in the film. So then you're cutting back and forth. You have Frodo being led into Shelob's lair by himself. Sam comes to save the day.
Can't believe that.
And then I'll just cut to the chase. You know, the ending is so fantastic. You have the leaders of the Fellowship who have just won the Battle of Minas Tirith looking at the next battle, which is like, it's not just a bigger battle, it's a hopeless battle.
Right.
There's no way they can win.
Right.
Public schools are out of control and homeschooling isn't for everyone. But what about Catholic schools? Even many Catholic schools are drifting away from the faith. Is your Catholic school one of them? The next generation is at risk of forgetting their Catholic tradition and losing their faith. That's why we love the work of the St. John Henry Newman Institute. They help revitalize Catholic schools. They train leaders, give grants for schools in need, and build roadmaps to help schools transform their curriculums. The John Henry Newman Institute is the guide that Catholic schools need, and it's simple. At jhni.org, schools go through a simple application and assessment process and receive a tailored transformation plan so that their Catholic school can embrace tradition and teach the fullness of the faith. Whether you work at a Catholic school or just drop your child off there, make sure your school joins the John Henry Newman Institute network so that you can get peace of mind knowing that your Catholic school is really fully Catholic. Learn more and join us at jhni.org, accelerating the renewal of Catholic education. That's jhni.org, jhni.org.
Here at Movie Crusade, we defend good movies. Did you know our team has developed an incredible script about the Eucharist? It's called Godbread. Why? Well, millions of Catholics believe that little piece of bread on the altar is Almighty God. If they're wrong, they're all crazy. If they're right, it changes everything. Godbread is a film with 3 stories spanning thousands of years about women who were actually crazy enough to believe it. It's not the kind of film Hollywood wants to make. That's why we need your help. If you're tired of the Hollywood filth or the Christian fluff, go to godbread.com and support a highly artistic, deeply traditional film that will shock the world. That's godbread.com. So what are they going to do? Well, all of them are ready to ride to their ruin. If possibly they can give Frodo a chance.
Right.
He's beyond the vision of Gandalf. They don't even know if he's alive. But maybe, just maybe, this is their only chance. So they're going to ride to the Black Gates and face Sauron's army at his front porch, front step. And, you know, Aragorn gives that speech, which is, it's almost up there with the Braveheart speech. It is so good. You know, the courage of men will not fail. It's not this day. You know, I see in your eyes the same, what is it? The same fear that will take the heart of me. But it is not this day. And then there's a moment where he almost makes eye contact with Sauron. And he has his moment of temptation, but he turns back towards his friend and he says, "For Frodo." And then they ride in. So man, like a movie that gets you to the point where you yourself are thinking, hope against all hope.
Yeah.
Like how can this even work out? I mean, they even get the mithril, the coat chain link, elvish coat that Frodo was wearing thrown at them as if indicating he's already dead.
Yeah.
So they have every reason to doubt.
Yeah.
But they ride into the last battle, hoping against all hope. And then I just love this movie so much. Like I can't keep, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll just quickly say Frodo fails in the end, and he says the ring is mine. That's what led Sam to scream. And then Gollum takes the ring finally. He gets the ring finally, and I heard or read that it's one of the only times that Iluvatar, the god of this universe, intervened, was making Gollum trip into the lava. It was the only time that Iluvatar intervened.
Oh, where's that from?
I don't remember. It might be like in some of Tolkien's letters.
Okay.
But we could find it later. There's eucatastrophe in this movie. Good catastrophe. It's at this moment where everything seems like it's gonna fail, but it's in the mountain, the volcano, the heart of the beast. That this one thing, hoping against all hope, the ring is destroyed, and then the tower falls. And the music, you got to listen to this song. It's called "The End of All Things," and it Howard Shore, the composer, just nailed this. Like I think it's the best movie score of all time. And this song, you feel everything, all the hopelessness, the dreariness, the epic failure of everything. But then the moment the tower falls, the song turns hopeful in like 4 seconds. Like it has this musical movement, and only a master of the art could do it. Right. But everyone's looking at this tower falling, like Frodo did it, and so maybe there's better moments in the Two Towers or in the Fellowship, but the fact that they were able to nail the third story like they did. Yep. I didn't even mention Sam, his speech to Frodo after they lost all their hope, or Frodo's lost his hope and his energy and his time, and I can carry you, and he lifts him up, Anyways, there's a lot of reasons why I love this film, and I will always love this film. I think you watched it on Friday for the first time.
I watched it days ago, and other than the stupid spider, I hate spiders. Does spider have a name?
Shelob.
That's right.
So remember how we talked about there being angels? Mm-hmm. Like Gandalf was an angel. Mm-hmm. There were also fallen angels. Shelob was a creature that actually was Shelob has a mom.
Ungoliant.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a fallen Maiar. I think that's what it's pronounced. Okay. Like a fallen angel. Like on the same tier as Sauron, basically. But was such a way that she was incarnate as a giant hideous spider that would always just want to consume everything. Shelob is just one of the children of Ungoliant.
Yeah, that hurt me. But, hate spiders. But
what was your favorite moment of the movie?
My favorite moment was the ending was phenomenal with Sam, just as a father, as a husband, just being able to go back. Like, wow, he not only it was great when he was like, if I ever made it, he starts talking about the gal's name,
Rosie
with ribbons in her hair. And it's like, as soon as they get there, he's like, he musters up the courage and goes and talks to her. And
it's funny, he goes to Mount Doom with all that courageous action, but it's like getting the girl too. He still needs to all right, gotta muster the courage.
I have to take this drink here. Take a little drink of beer or whatever they're drinking of ale or whatever. But so it was good to see how everything moved into, back to the family. Mm-hmm. And that he moved on, even though Frodo, wasn't with him, he moved on with his wife and his kids. And that was beautiful. I love that part with Gandalf and Pippin. Unbelievable. I mean, we we're all going to die. We're all going to die. And that, to me, even though I've read stories of, we read stories of the saints and martyrdom all the time. And it's sometimes hard to connect with that. Like, oh man, this crazy dictator or emperor or
It's
whatever.
hard to look past the curtain. Sometimes all you see is the death, you know, even with a martyr story.
Yeah.
But that scene somehow opens that curtain a little bit and it gives you hope. You know?
It takes away the what's wrong with the world's view of death, which is to fear it. And it's like, no. I'm trying to grow in union with God, so I don't fear death. I want to be with our Lord. I want to be with the Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph and the saints. I want to be with them. So I'm going to strive for holiness, and I despise sin. So that scene, even though they weren't saints, they're fictitious characters, gave me this, like, I'm going to die someday. Like, I'm literally, my kids are like, you're half dead. You're over 50 years old. Like, you are not living to be 100 dead. You're over half dead. It is true. So that was to me an amazing scene. And it was also cool to see those spirits come, like, what say you? And Aragorn,
fulfill their vow.
Yeah. And
the reason
did.
they're in this purgatorial state is because they didn't fulfill the vow.
So the totality of it, even though it's the first time I watched it, it is evergreen, so I can watch it again and pick up more stuff. So I am excited about watching it with the kids.
Yeah. Flanders, I want to hear any and all thoughts you have.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything you said is great. I mean, it is this fantastic film. I mean, one of the greatest achievements of it, in my opinion, is that it creates a book to movie in such an amazing way. Because that's extremely difficult to do, I think, to create a movie out of a book and have it really good. Because everybody's always saying, like, well, the book's better than the movie. And that's still true in this case, of course. It's true in every case. But it's just very difficult to create a movie that's so powerful, at least that it approximates something of the book in a sense. Like, it's not unfaithful to the book. It's not like really like what they did with the latest Voyage of the Dawn Treader with C.S. Lewis, or I heard that they did it with The Hobbit. I never saw The Hobbit trilogy, but like just really change.
They just add unnecessary things in it.
I think that they did a great job creating a cinematic mise en scène of the powerful prose of Tolkien. Like I said before, my favorite scene is the final scene, the final line Sam makes. But I think the power of The Ring is mine. That moment, it's just like,
oh my
gets
gosh.
you in the double barrel shotgun to the chest every time.
Yes.
It's just like,
after all you've been through, after every good decision you made.
That was brutal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the way Peter Jackson filmed that, he's a master of the art. Like, the way the air is rushing up and the volcanoes, rumbling, and he's incredible. So that song with Pippin and Gandalf, they bring it back at the end in a triumphant way and have that ballad or whatever it's called sung, that solo. I think it's Annie Lennox or something, singing Into the West. And it's a great song if you play it, Into the West. But that's when they're sailing into the West. So this hope in the midst of this battle, and then now they're actually sailing into the West, and that's when they bring it back.
Yeah.
The perfect callback.
Yeah.
Your favorite scene was Samwise going home.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, can't beat that. I mean, the charge of the Rohirrim, probably, because it's just epic. It's, they say it's based on the real life charge of the flying hussars at the siege of Vienna.
Really?
You don't know
No.
about that? Oh,
Wow.
I mean, the greatest cavalry charge in military history was the charge of the winged hussars, who were King Sobieski was coming to relieve the siege of Vienna in 1683. It was the last great Muslim battle in history. You guys don't know about this?
No.
Okay. We got to pause a minute and back up.
Wow.
Okay. So 1571 Battle of Lepanto.
Yes.
That was already like before, when the Muslims were bested 100 years before that. They had built up their forces for 100 years. Battle of Lepanto happens, right? You know the story there.
Yes.
So then after the Muslims were humbled again, then they built up their forces again for like another 100 years. And they marched on Vienna. They had like one of the greatest armies ever in the history up to that point. They were marching at Vienna. If they took Vienna, Europe was done. Like Vienna is like this outpost, and they came to Vienna, and they moved the emperor, and they called for aid, and everybody, this is the same thing. Like Tolkien knows this history. Like we have
Gondor calls for aid.
Yeah, we have this reluctance. We have this reluctance of the kings of Christendom to aid Vienna, and the Pope's like, everybody, we got to help Vienna. And King Sobieski in Poland, he says, I will come to their aid. And he takes his winged hussars and dedicates them to the Virgin Mary on August 15. Yes. And then they march to Vienna as fast as they can. And at the time, they had just breached the walls of Vienna. It was about to fall. And then on September 11th, this is why the Mohammedans attacked us on September 11th. This is why. It was revenge for this. There was other September 11th. So September 11th in 1683, Jan Sobieski comes. He's on the hill. He appears on the hill just like in Return of the King, and they charge down. And break the Mohammedan siege. And then Jan Sobieski said, "I came, I saw, God conquered." Oh, and then so they broke and. The Turks fled, and so this is where the siege was broken on September 11th. They retreated on September 12th, and that's why the Feast of the Holy Name of Mary is September 12th to commemorate that battle. And the Turks left, and they left all their coffee. So that's how we got coffee.
Be to God.
The Turkish coffee.
Okay.
Turkish delights.
Wow.
The charge of the
coming back for more history lessons, Timothy. Thank you, sir, for that. Wow.
And there's a movie about it too. So you should watch the movie, and then you should put that movie on your.
Well, the reason that scene worked so well for me is because is one of the few times you see fear in the eyes of orcs.
Yes, you did see it.
Yeah, because the courage of those horse lords riding in, just faster and faster and fierce, and like they know they're riding into their death, so they're not afraid of anything. And that courage gets the the orcs to,
that was the first time you see their expressions on their faces like that.
Yeah.
And out of all the movies, they never had that, but they had it there. And then it was like, oh, and then they trampled them.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when Gandalf comes to Helm's Deep. I don't know if they were afraid, but the sun came over. I think that was the thing. The sun blinded them. Yeah. But in this siege, it was just their courage that blinded them.
That's right. Well, we did it. This is, when you have a movie.
Do you think they'll ever remake this trilogy?
I would hope not.
No, don't remake it. Don't do it.
Do you think they will, though?
No.
I can't imagine they'll even touch it.
No, they can't. Not going to do it.
I don't think so.
When you have a 3.5 hour movie, it takes a long time to talk about it. So we did a good job. You guys did great. Timothy, thank you for the history on that. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get fat cardinal. Hype it now.